Hello everyone, this is Dr. Abdul. Today we'll continue talking about isometric drawings, and we will complete this drawing 11.4.
So let's get started. As we always analyze the drawing, the dimensions. We see here that we have the dimensions. We can get them from the section of view. We have 8, 3.25, 188, 2.52. We need to see how much the height here, 1.5. Also, we have the distance inside. We're gonna get it from this circle, which is 1.25. So we need to look at both distance here, okay? The front and the section. Now, after that, we need to look at the isometric to create the circles and the final look. After you analyze the drawing and you set the best strategy, remember that there are a lot of different ways to have the job done. However, you choose the best way that suits you and the best way that you feel comfortable just finishing the drawing. The first thing, let's start by creating some layers. I will, as I told you at the beginning, I will only use the isometric. So I'm not going to draw everything in this video, just the isometric. So I will create some layers for that. Construction, just in case I need to draw some construction lines, dash to draw these 3 dashed lines here, and I name it. I put a line type, the dash iso plane. I use the long one here. You can choose the short one as well. Also, you have hatch. You should put the hatch on a different layer, and the isometric, which is a different layer as well, and this is the main drawing. You give each layer a color. Now let's get started. I'll start with the dashed and make it current. Excellent. Make sure that we have everything is by layer. I will start a drawing. So let's click on the line. What we need here to get the object snap, we're gonna use the object snap, so make sure it is on. I have endpoint, midpoint, quadrant, intersection, and tangent. Also, I have the object snap tracking is on. I have the polar tracking. I have the dynamic input. You prefer to use the dynamic input on or off. If you find another way, you can turn the polar tracking, leave the dynamic input. So there are several ways to have the job done. I'm gonna use this way. But the most important thing here, because you're drawing isometric, to keep the isometric drafting on. Okay, if you click on the little arrow, you have 3 isometric planes. The first one left, then top, then right, and we are drawing on the right isoplane. So make sure you have it on. L, enter, then pick a point, pick the direction correctly, use the reference lines, and here we have 8, enter, enter. If you have the dashes, little, big, small, and you need to adjust them, you can put LTS line type scale, enter, and here you can change the number. What I have now, the number is 0.02. If you need it longer or smaller, so you can adjust the number here. Okay, when you finish this, hit enter. Now after that, we need to move to another layer. Let's go to the isometric layer, and we need to start drawing the lines depends on the dimensions. Line, pick the point, and follow the dimensions we have. The first dimension is the diameter is 2, so I'm gonna go half of this distance, 1, enter. I go to the left, the distance here is 1.88, enter, enter. Now line, we'll start another line here. I'll get the intersection. The distance here is, I have the diameter 4.25, so half of it is 2.125, enter. then go to the left. The distance is 1.13. Enter. We need to go up. So here you can calculate the distance or just go to line and from the end point, get this line here, measure distance is 3. Now we need to go to the left. And enter. So we finished the first part of the top. Let's get the rest done. We can get this point, track them, and the distance here 1.13. So and enter. Let's get another line. If the midpoint, just you can turn it off and on as you want. Now let's get it this distance till the end. Track this point here, and let's get the end point. Okay, so we finished that top. It's not always correct to use the mirror in isometric, so let's copy these lines as it's symmetrical. So I'm gonna copy it from the top down, enter. So remember that you can repeat the last command by using enter. Enter. And remember also right click, you can enter. So you can use spacebar, right click to enter the command. Now let's draw here some more lines. Okay, so we finished that part here. Now we need to draw these lines, the dashed lines. Let's move to the dashed layer, get line, and I need to draw a line here in the middle point. So I will type here M2P, that means middle 2 points, enter. I pick this point and this point. So here I pick the 2 point in the 1 point in the middle. Now I use the reference lines with intersection to get the correct point. I repeat the same thing. Line M2P, enter. Pick the first point here and the second, and then use the reference lines. So I finished that. Let's get back to isometric plane. At this point, we finished the outline. We need to draw the lines inside. In order to draw the lines inside, I need to look to, at these dimensions, and I will choose to another color here. I will get it back to by layer, but for now, so you're not get confused with the lines, I will change that to yellow. Let's draw the first line here at, you'll get the diameter of this circle, which is 1.25. So I will go here, draw line. Enter. I will move this line from the middle. So here I can bring the midpoint or shift right click. Okay, when you get shift right click, you can get any point you want. So this point here, and I need to put it there. Now I will draw a line from the end point. I'm gonna make it all the way till the end, and another line from the end point and all the way till the end. I'll draw another line here just to make it easier as visualizing. So I draw this line. Now I need to draw the lines in the middle. And here, as you see, the distance we have 1.5. So I'm gonna draw a 1.5 line. We'll start drawing the other lines. So let's draw a line. The distance here is 0.63. So I'll go from here, 0.63, enter, and I need to go vertical till the end of this. Okay, now I need to see here, the distance is 0.13. And I'll go down to the intersection point. Now I'm gonna copy from the end. Now I will close the line from here. I need to copy this, but I need to get the correct line here. So let's have a point or offset. The distance is 0.63. So 0.63, enter. So let's offset one of these lines inside just to get the point here. Now let's copy. I'm gonna copy. You can use any of the selection methods to copy these lines here. Enter. And I will copy it from the end point here till the intersection. Okay. And delete it. Here I finished these two. I need to draw some more lines inside. Okay. So let's see the lines here. I need to get a line, and the distance here, let's check the distance. The distance we have from the top is 3. This is the diameter here, 3 from the top to the bottom. Okay, so here you go. So I need to draw a line, 3. I draw it outside, 3, enter, enter. This is the line. Now what I have here, I have this line, but I need to offset it, and the distance here is 0.13. So I'm gonna draw here a line. I'm gonna offset this line 0.13. Okay, let's extend it a little bit to there. Now I'm gonna move this line from the middle all the way to this intersection. Okay. Now we no longer need that line, we can delete it, and I'm gonna connect this point. I'll change here the color for a little bit. I need to draw a line from here, and the line here, which is the distance, actually what we have is 2.5. Okay, now I'm gonna move the whole thing that I created to this point. So let's move, and I'm trying to use all the tools. You can use move and copy in isometric. So here you go. I need to move that part, enter, from this intersection till the end. Now this line is no longer needed. Now we need to draw the other part of the drawing. And let's draw here a line from this point, and the distance here is 2. So let's make it 2, enter. Now I need to copy from the end all the way till the end of that line. Okay. Now we need to offset, and the offset distance is 0.13. So let's make offset. 0.13 is already there, so you can just click on it and be sure to offset to the correct direction, which is inside. Okay. Now let's draw a line from the top, and we can get the extension of that line, and you can hit enter, then you will extend that line. Okay, and you'll do the same thing down here. So line, make sure you get the correct point, and you can extend this line. Now let's get back to that color, and let's draw here the rest. Now we finished that part. Let me make this yellow as well as part of the drawing. Here, do some trimming. Trim, TR, enter. And you can choose select all. If you're using a 2020 or previous versions, you need to select all. You will find it there. Just need to trim all these parts. Okay, just start to clean up the drawing. Now let's get to by layer here. Let's draw the rest of the circles. We will do more trimming later. As you see here with the isometric, we have several circles created, but we cannot create them with circles. We have to create it in a special way using ISO circle. Let's start using the command access end and the ellipse. Okay, then you go down to ISO circle, specify center of the ISO circle. I'm gonna here start with the large circles on the top. So the center, as you see, this is the center from the axis, and here we need to make sure that we are drawing in the correct ISO plane. Okay, so make sure you go to the correct ISO plane, and then make it left, and as you see here, the direction of the ISO circle changed. Let's make the end. Okay, and this is the end point. Now we need to do some trimming here, and be careful about the trimming. Just use the trim, and here I prefer to use cutting edges. Okay, as you see, the circle on the top, the first one, we don't have a lot of it, so we need to trim several parts. So I'm gonna use this cutting edge here and this cutting edge, because I just need that part inside. Hit enter, and now click on that. If you don't do that, so probably you have to do a lot of trimming inside, so you will waste a lot of time. So be careful to choose the correct cutting edges. Now I'm gonna copy the last circle, enter, from endpoint to endpoint, enter. I'll do trimming again, TR, enter, and I'll trim the part inside. Now let's go to line, and here you need to choose the point. using the object snap to close it from the top, drawing lines. You can also trim the rest of the lines that you don't want. So TR, enter, and trim the point or the lines. Now we need to draw more circles the same way. Axis and iso circle. Pick the point using the object snap, draw the circle. Make some trimming. TR, enter, cutting edges, and here the cutting edge we have. Actually, we need that part down, as you see. So let's make this cutting edge, and cutting edge. Okay, and let's do that. Trimming and cutting edges. This and this, and I need this part. Actually, to get this, we cannot trimming, or we can do here some. I need to show you here how to use extend, in just in case you got a lot of it. So you can use extend, and again you can extend it. Okay, you can extend the circle till it is there, and here you need it to be to that edge, so enter. Now let's trim. Cutting edges, this and this, enter, and here we need just the one inside. Now let's trim that part as well, we don't need it, and here you go. Now we need to do the other one. Let's copy this because it's the same circle, so let's copy from this point to this point, enter, do some trimming here, TR, enter. We finished the circles over there. We need to copy this circle from this point to the other side. Okay, then another trimming. We need to draw a line. So you go to line or L, enter. You pick the point with a quadrant, and then you do trimming. Trim this part. Okay, so here you go. We finish the part on the top. Now, if we look down here, you find a little bit of that circle that's coming down. So actually, we need to draw another circle or extend it. So I'm gonna draw another circle here with the same. And here you go. Enter. And now let's do trimming. So there are several ways to have the same job done. So you can choose the best way for you. Now, after this part is done, and see the rest of the circles down here, we do have other circles from the side, and here 2 circles on top and bottom. So let's do the circles on the sides using the same strategy. Iso circle, and let's do this side because here we need some other chamfer or something. So let's do this circle first. Okay, let's zoom in here, do some trimming. So this is the only part that I want. Then I'll go draw the lines here. And you can get tangent, that point, the closest one. Okay, now let's trim the one in the middle. So we finished the one, that part, but we still have the circles inside. So let's go to the circles Again, we're using the same way over and over. So iso circle. So here, iso circle, and this is the center, and here you go. So this is the circle, trim, and the edges here. Let's see what we need to trim from the picture. So we need to trim all the parts. So let's do that. Cutting edges, we need this line and this line. Enter, we need to trim that part and that part. Then also we need to trim the part that is to draw the circles inside. To draw the circles inside, we're gonna use the same strategy. Zoom in, axis end, isoplane, specify the center. Here, because we already deleted that, we can just get the center by tracking the point. Okay, and here you go. So this is the circle that we want. Actually, from this circle, I just need the part that's from there and the rest of the arc. So let's trim that. But I still need here extend. Let's extend this and this. Actually, I need this part. So let's trim again. So we got this part and the one inside it. Now let's go create another one. Iso circle, and here you go. I need the center to be in the middle. Trim. Let's trim. Okay. What's left in this one? We need a circle from there. So let's do another one here. Iso circle. Okay. Now trim this part of the drawing. Now let's move this one. Let's copy it. So we're gonna copy to the same corner. Okay, so here you go. However, in this part, we need to get the one on the top. So what we will do here, we will extend that one to the top. We'll extend it one more. If we don't need to copy it from the other one, then we're gonna TR enter, and here you go. Just make that top. So finish this part. Now, the left part here, we need to do some other chamfer here. So let's go a little bit on the top. I'm gonna choose a different color just for to make it visually easier. So I'm gonna draw a line from here, following the reference lines, and see. Let's see, the distance here actually is 0.125. So I'm gonna make that 0.125. Enter, enter. I hit one more, enter, pick this point, and 1.25, enter. Then I will draw a line from there to that point. Okay. I will make another line the same way. Okay. And another line from here to the top from the end point. Okay. And let's draw another line from this point to this point. Now let's do some trimming. TR enter. I will trim these points. enter, and this point. Okay. Now after this, we will draw here some circles. Let's get back to bilayer. So here I will go to axis and iso circles from the midpoint till the end point here. Then let's do some trimming. Now I will use another the same strategy, axis and iso circle, and this time I need the intersection point here with that one. Now trim, and I cut that part. Okay, let's have a look at part here. We need another circle inside, so the same strategy, iso circle. Okay, then trim. Okay, now we need to make another circle on the other part, so let's copy end point to end point. Let's trim. Now we need to draw a line here, so let's go from line. Okay, let's zoom in and do trimming. Trim. This part and this part. Okay, we're almost done there. We have two circles on the top and the bottom, so let's draw them. The diameter of these circles 0.375. Okay, so we will draw them the same way, axis and this is the center, peak diameter, and again it's 0.375. Let's copy this circle from center end point to end point, just pick the correct point. Now let's trim. Draw line from, let me zoom in a little here, from the end to the end, again enter, and enter. Now let's do some more trimming. We finished this and we can copy it. Let's copy this circle, lines, enter, and I'm gonna copy it from the end point. Zoom in here to the end point. Let's do some trimming. Okay, I'm gonna extend this line. Okay, now a little bit cleaning up in the middle before applying the hatch. So I'm gonna make some trimming as well. TR, enter. Trimming all of that we have to draw the circles. Okay, so the only things here, I believe we just need to draw the circles inside. Okay, that's the last step before the hatch. So here we do have 3 circles, we need to draw them. So let's draw these circles. The same strategy, iso circle, and here you go. Let's do trimming. And we don't need this part. And this is the first circle, we need the bigger one. So let's make it iso circle. And here to get this center, just drag the point and get the center. Now let's do trimming and that part. Okay, so this is the two circles inside. I believe we just have one circle down here, so let's make it. Isocircle again, and this is the center, and this is the circle. Trim. Okay, let's continue cleaning up and see if anything left. So far we need to trim. Okay. So here it's time just to have a look what's left and do the rest of the trimming. We don't need these lines here. The last thing here to get everything to bilayer. So I'm gonna select the whole thing and get it back to bilayer. Okay, so I don't have any more lines. Let's move to the hatch layer, and this is the last step. Get the hatch from the draw panel, click on it. Let's get the hatch that we require, ANS I31, and then we click inside. Pick the parts, make sure you pick the ones up and the ones down. Be sure to have closed boundary. Just check the if you do have any open lines, you're not able to get the hatch. So be sure you you don't have any open boundaries and that you're using the object snap correctly. And this one should be drawn on the hatch, so be sure here to get them to the correct layer. Be sure it is there is no override or something. I always recommend leaving everything to bilayer. Okay, so here you go. Just make that as well, as it is should be bilayer. Okay, so everything, make sure it is bilayer. Then you close the hatch creation. Okay, so in this video we've created the isometric. The most important thing to use the iso circles. Make sure it's not a circle, it's isocircle. Also be sure to have the iso plane, the correct one when you move from isoplane to isoplane. You can use the object snap, you can use the dynamic input, you can use the snap setting as well, but make sure they are on the isoplane mode.
I hope you've enjoyed the video today and gained new skills. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. If you like the video, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel to be notified with future videos. Thank you so much, and this is Dr. Abdul.